Yeah.
UCAN is a new sponsor for our team, just the last year or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've known them for a long time. I think once they started branching out and bringing some other products on, it became a lot easier for my team to kind of sort of wrap their head around the brand and what it meant for them nutritionally. But I'd be just, curious to hear from you, like your experience, what's the stuff that you like to use? Are you just like the drink mix? Or are you like, no, I'm only the bars. That's all I want. Or their almond butter is awesome, but
I haven't tried the almond butter yet.
Okay.
I knew of UCAN because I trained with Tim O'Donnell, right? He's on my squad. Yeah. So I knew of UCAN. I had never tried it.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Ultraman last January 2020. And I had it's hard to say I didn't have like a fantastic day or 3 days or experience. I mean, I set the world record by 1 hour and 20 minutes. Like you can't walk away from that and be like, oh, well, but you do learn, right? And my nutrition, it's complicated, and something your athletes will relate to. It's complicated to get your nutrition right for even a sprint or an Olympic or certainly a half, definitely a full. And even when you do a full Ironman and you think you've nailed your nutrition, you're like, oh, I finally got it. I had good energy. I had no stomach problems. I felt great until the end. You replicate that exact same nutrition plan the next Ironman you do, and guaranteed it won't work. It just, and Ultraman is even more than that because it's 3 days. And my nutrition particularly on day 2 was difficult. I was throwing up quite a bit on day 2, and day 3, I lost a lot of time not running because I had to stop. And one of my crew members was the Ultraman World Champion from the prior year, a Canadian named Jordan Bryden. And thankfully for his experience kind of helped me triage some of those nutrition issues. But when we finished, he's like, you need to start thinking about this a little differently. He's like, you should really try UCAN. And so I reached out to UCAN, and they sent me some product, and I gave it a try. And at first I was like, it's a little chalky, but I think you get over that really quickly. And so I started training with it. And then of course the pandemic, but it was great because I got to do some really sort of interesting, one of the challenges we did during the pandemic to keep people motivated. We did a 1,000K bike week, which, I mean, it's just a big bike week, right? Yeah. But it was a great chance. I think we had 4 big days, like 6-hour plus days. And I really was able to put the UCAN to the test. And I started liking it more and more. And that was part of my motivation for that 52K trail race. Because nutrition for me, both day-to-day nutrition and race nutrition, has always been my Achilles heel. Like I struggle with it. And so I struggle with the discipline of it because I'm not a foodie. I'm not that interested in whatever. But this 52K trail race was self-supported, number one. So it was going to be 100% on me. Ultraman was easy because my crew was like, eat this, I ate it. Drink this, I drank it. And so I could be really compliant, but could I go out there across 52K of running and force myself to do it? Like be disciplined in myself and do it with UCAN as my primary source of calories. And what would that look like across, 5 hours or whatever it was of running. And it was great. Like I finished the race. And it was unsupported because of the pandemic. My husband dropped me off in the parking lot at 6 a.m. and literally came back like 7 hours later. He's like, good luck. That was it. I got out and that was it. Like it was all on me. I was all by myself out there. They did have some aid stations so you could refill water and stuff, but it was 100% on me. And so I finished. I came in second, by the way, in a race that had no swim and no bike. Yay me.
That's awesome.
Which was so surprising because I'm not the sport's best runner. And some might argue that I'm the sport's worst runner. And that would be a fair argument to make. But I finished and literally like got in the car and my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, you seem really good. I was like, yeah, what's the matter? He's like, you're just really coherent. Like I just thought really clearly. I was able to make good decisions all day. And having that race experience with UCAN, I was like, I'm sold. Like I reached out to Matt. I was like, I'm really serious now. Like I love this stuff. He's like, okay, good. I hope so.
That's awesome.
And so now it is a process because I use it primarily, and I use like my nutritionist coaches me quite a bit with this. It is my base. So like this morning we had a hard tempo run and pretty much went straight to swim. So I had 2 scoops of UCAN before the run, and then another 2 scoops before the swim. And it's good. It's sort of a good bridge if you can't have a proper meal, because that starting with that UCAN, like it's on board for the day. And so you can sort of slow drip it. But then when you do sort of the longer, more intense stuff, that's when you start to layer the higher glycemic carbs on top of it. And that's what I need. That's what I need to continue to experiment with, is the proper blend of how, like if I'm doing a 6-hour effort, how long I stick with strictly UCAN, and when I layer the high glycemic, and if it's a high intensity workout, when you bring in the higher glycemic carbs. But so far I'm a huge fan of the product. So I'm really glad your team is getting a chance to experiment with it. I use the energy. I go back and forth between the cran raz and the orange. Cookies and cream protein to the death. It is my absolute favorite.
Oh, no. I
And I'm
know about that stuff.
Oh, the cookies and cream.
No.
They were out of stock for a while, and they sent me the cocoa, and I was like, it's pretty good, but it's just not cookies and cream.
Not cookies and cream.
It's not the cookies and cream. Yeah, and their little snack, the granola stuff, that's really addicting.
The granola is super good. Yeah,
it's really good.
He said,
So
he asked me, what do you think of the granola? And I was like, I don't think you sent me any. He's like, no, I did. It's on the list right here. And I was like, oh, yes. I ate that right on day one.
I ate that all, and I just was trying to get you to send me some more.
Totally. I was like, no, you gotta send it again. I need to retest that. Sorry.
Yeah. Generally speaking, the product line is really, really solid. And you know, what I love about it is that it's just such a great foundation. Like it's a great foundation to day-to-day training. It's a great foundation on race day. I've had really, really good success with it so far. So yeah. I mean, I, like you guys, I'm relatively new to using it and still experimenting a lot. But what I've done over the past year with it, I'm into it.
Awesome. I appreciate your perspective too, talking 2 things. Like one, working with female athletes, it's definitely hard to be like, eat more, because there's sort of this natural resistance of like, why would I do that? Like, no. But also simplicity, right? So I love the idea of saying this is your baseline. And the majority of folks on the team who have adopted it have been women who are just like, super easy, it works, and I don't have to have 7 of them. You know, I can have 2, and it's okay.
Well, but here's the thing, and here's where I would caution, is that a calorie is still a calorie is still a calorie. So it's not like you can take 2 scoops of this and that's your entire nutrition protocol for an Ironman, right? Yeah. But for your training, it does help. Like in between my run and my swim this morning, I had 35 minutes. I don't have time for a proper meal, but I can take some UCAN and this sort of the sustained energy it provides to get me through my 6K swim workout until I can get home and get a proper meal, I think is invaluable. Like, I think it's incredible. It's really, really good. And then your longer days and your longer efforts, then it's a matter of figuring out that balance between using the UCAN as the foundation and then layering the higher glycemic things on top of it for ultimate success. Yeah.
Totally. I think one of the things that most athletes struggle with is they're so crappy with nutrition all week. Yeah. They get to the weekend, they say, no, I brought all this food with me. I should be fine, and they're not used to eating it. But they're carrying all their workouts have just been going downhill to Friday. So even being able to solve for some of that, makes life so much better, right? We just get better quality across the board. Yeah, no, absolutely. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Very good. Good stuff. Awesome. Hey, I could probably talk to you forever. I can't believe it's been this long since we caught up. Next time, I'm just going to jump on your broadcast. I know. Seriously. It's me. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. No, seriously though, that's fantastic. So, are you doing most of the where are you racing this year? Are you planning on something? Yeah, I raced Galveston 70.3 back in April. I am racing a PTO supported event. The Professional Triathletes Organization has partnered with some what are more typically local races to put up some prize purses to give the pros some opportunities to race, because there aren't a lot of race opportunities for the pros. So I'm actually racing a PTO supported event in Arizona in 2 weeks. It's in a place called Sholo, Arizona, which if you Google it, it's in the middle of nowhere, which will be fun. Like I would never otherwise go to Sholo, Arizona. So I'm going to Sholo, Arizona. And then I'm racing Ironman Lake Placid. Yeah, I'll be in Lake Placid. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. And I was really nervous when, all the rumors were swirling that the event wasn't going to happen. I love that race, being from Boston. That was my first pro Ironman. And so I'm sort of nostalgic about it, and I love the town and I love the race. And so I'll be racing Ironman Lake Placid, and then I plan to, if this aging body holds together, go take a crack at Ultraman Worlds in November on the Big Island. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So we got to nail that UCAN strategy.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of time left, actually.
I know. Yeah, no, it's good. Like, I am excited to go through Ultraman with UCAN in my arsenal, because I think it's going to be a very different experience, and I like, nutritionally speaking, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Good stuff. Well, I certainly can't keep up with you, but I will certainly follow you for sure and see the story. Thanks so much for just dropping some knowledge on us and spending an hour. I really appreciate it, and for putting it with my technology issues.
Oh no, you're all good. You're all good. And thanks. You lead a huge community and inspire a huge community of triathletes and keep everyone motivated. So well done, you.
Oh, thank you. They're all racing. They're sending me these pictures, and I'm like, you also went to St. George? We had like 8 people race, but I only knew about 4. And I was like, you were also there. So it's been great to see, and we're so grateful for what Ironman's doing to kind of keep pushing us forward. And just the more than just the races, the community that's grown out of the sport that just makes it so awesome. So, and
if you were in St. George, you had the same experience in Galveston. Like, good race, bad race. I think everyone was just so excited to be back out there racing. Like, I could have had a crappy day in Galveston, but would have crossed the finish line. I was like, that was amazing. We're back. We're racing. Right. Like, this is amazing. So
totally.
I hope that sticks around for a while.
Yeah. People are like, what's your normal? And I'm like, I think a plastic table covered with cups and people yelling water or Gatorade at me. Yes, that'd be perfect. That's all I want. Can I just have that?
I know. I missed orange and green arrows. I really did.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait. Well, hopefully we'll intersect in Lake Placid then. That sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah, very good.
Right.
Thanks
Take
again.
Care. Thank you so much.
Right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.